Hello YouTube and fellow Star Wars collectors. On this episode of Toys Are the Way, we'll be taking a look at the final character from the fifth wave of vintage collection figures for 2024, the Dark Trooper from The Mandalorian. Welcome back everyone, let's deploy the Dark Troopers. Yes, this is a straight repack pretty much of the deluxe version that we saw some time ago. And it is nice to see this one on a card. This is definitely how I would prefer to add this to my Mandalorian carded collection. You know, you couldn't really do that with that deluxe box. It just doesn't look good as a display item. This looks way better in my opinion, but I did appreciate getting that deluxe version with more accessories, specifically the charging station, which is an absolute must for this type of character, especially if you're army building these, you want to have them in their charging station display. Yes, I think they could have included more accessories here, like, extra hands. I don't think, the rockets look like they could fit in here for his feet, but something else at minimum, maybe to make this a little bit more exciting than just a repack that's going to be something added to your carded collection. But with all that said and done, let's take a closer look at the figure and card. Taking a look at our vintage style packaging, we have the Star Wars and Mandalorian logo prominently displayed up top, followed by the Dark Trooper on a bright red name pill color. We have an absolutely fantastic image of the character from the show marching down the halls of that Imperial light cruiser, looking very menacing with the Kenner logo down below. Additionally, we have this really nice 3.75 figure looking really good against that red name pill color. On the back, he is VC 271 in the line, the Dark Trooper, and we have a small description of the character, followed by the Vintage Collection logo, and additional images of the card and figure. So this is an absolutely breathtaking addition to our Mandalorian carded collections, and I think many of us are very content to finally see the Dark Trooper on a card back, so definitely looking forward to adding this one to my display. Taking a look at the Dark Trooper out of the packaging and compared to the previous release, I bet you can't even tell me which one is the new carded release. Well, in fact, it's this one right here on the right hand side. Definitely no differences going on here in terms of the paint applications or anything like that. They are pretty much the same exact figure. This one doesn't have a lot of paint to it. It's mostly molded plastic that's probably black, so it's got the same shiny look to it. It's got the same eyes that have that little piece of translucent plastic in the back, and you're able to light up their eyes. Everything looks exactly the same when it comes to these two figures. But if you're not familiar with this figure, and in terms of the articulation, it definitely has a lot of stuff going on. So it's got the new style barbell hips, which are, more of a standard thing that we see in the vintage collection. It's got this swivel at the thigh here, which is really nice. It's got a bit of a stiff knee, but it is, a great articulation point here that you're able to, bend back, but also rotate at this shin area, which is really nice. It's got articulation at the ankles, which are actually rockers, so you can get some really good posing out of this figure. It's just got some really nice articulation and engineering on this one. Same thing goes for, the upper body. Same thing for the arms. It's got this soft plastic here that doesn't get in the way of anything. It's got some great articulation and crunch going on. The head, could use a little bit more articulation to look upward, but it's kind of better than some of our previous figures that we've seen in the line. So it's got some great range of motion there. And then the blaster is actually able to go into this peg on the side of his leg, allowing you to keep it nicely stored there. So that's pretty good stuff to see. And yeah, definitely a very good one to add to your collection, especially if you're a fan of The Mandalorian. Activate the Dark Troopers. This battle droid was previously released as a deluxe figure with extra accessories and a charging station in the beginning of 2023. Initially, many fans were less than thrilled that this character was not getting its own vintage collection card back, and now fast forward to the end of 2024 and we have VC 271. This Imperial masterpiece is fully loaded with all the modern articulation TVC fans expect to see on newly tooled figures, sporting a plethora of articulation such as ball-jointed hips, swivels at the thigh, hinges at the wrist, and rocker ankles. The Dark Trooper can easily pose in a variety of action stances, and is certainly one of the finer releases we have seen in the vintage collection. While this release is a nice addition to our carded displays, the inclusion of one open hand and one punching fist is a bit frustrating as the figure cannot properly hold the rifle with two hands. I hope you've enjoyed this video and taking a look at this latest addition to our vintage collection shelf displays, the Dark Trooper from The Mandalorian. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And don't forget to drop a like on this video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. It really helps and is always greatly appreciated. Thanks everyone, and may the Force be with you.